Hey, good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Atchison County Commission meeting for Tuesday, July 15th. I'd like to call the meeting to order and our clerk will perform roll call.
Commissioner Quinn,
Present.
Commissioner Knoll,
Here.
Commissioner Campbell.
Here.
Okay, we do not have an invocation scheduled for today, but if you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public comment. Seeing none. I have some additions for the agenda prior to asking for approval. I have a sports complex PO for batting cages, and then some discussion on the Atchison County Fair, the Rainbow Grant Opportunity, Northeast Kansas Multi-County Health Bylaws, and then adding an IT contract to be considered for Crow Services to allow the chair to sign later in the week. So a discussion on that. So with those additions, I would look for a motion to approve the agenda.
So second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 3-0. All right, next is the consent agenda, which we have the commission meeting minutes from July 8th of 25. The finance director, although out today, sent us a recap of the expenses, showing payroll $186,291.18. Total accounts payable for 7/16 check date was $202,210.43 and credit cards of $3,132.51. So with that recap, I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye, passes 3-0. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Campbell?
Well, I attended the Juvenile Corrections Board meeting yesterday. That was a productive meeting. I will attend the County Safety meeting Thursday and the Adult Corrections Board meeting on Monday.
Commissioner Knoll?
I had a Northeast Kansas Environmental Services meeting Thursday. And then I have a NECAP meeting this next coming Thursday evening in Hiawatha.
Okay. I have been involved in the hiring process for a new executive director for the Northeast Kansas Multi-County Health Department. And our president of the board was able to announce on Friday that Deanna Lamb has been appointed as the new executive director of Northeast Kansas Multi-County Health Departments, effective as of August 1st of 2025. She brings so much to this role in leadership and executive experience in healthcare. She is going to be a wonderful, strong fit to lead our agency during this pivotal time. So she's wonderful. I sat in on that interview as well and just really excited to have her on board and leading this multi-county health department as of August. So congratulations to her. All right. No petitions or proclamations this morning. New business. We have Benedictine College. We have a public hearing and issuance of educational facilities.
Please don't worry.
This is a public hearing that's required under federal law under the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act. Benedictine College is planning or requesting to do a refinance, or what's known as a refunding of some previously issued taxable bonds that were issued in 2022 to make them non-taxable bonds in 2025. This process allows the college to obtain that tax-free financing under federal law. No county funds are being pledged or are at stake in this. The sole responsibility for payment of the bonds rests upon Benedictine College. And there are private investors that are putting forth, that are loaning the money, so the colleges or the county is neither financing the project nor loaning the money. We're not involved in that end of it at all. Notice of this hearing was published in the Globe. And so it's a public hearing. You should open the floor to comments, which I don't think there would be any, and then close the hearing. And if agreeable, execute the two documents that are requested.
Okay, all right, so look for a motion to open the hearing.
So move.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded, the hearing for Benedictine College issuance of educational facilities is open. Would anyone like to speak on behalf of that? Seeing none, I would look for a motion to close the hearing.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor say aye. Aye. The public hearing has now been closed. I would look for a motion to allow the chair to sign the documents that coincide with this issuance. Certificate of approval. I have two of those and a supplemental tax compliance agreement. So I'd look for a motion to allow the chair to sign these documents.
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This is 3-0. These one as well.
They were all different.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was. Okay. Yep, thank you. Thank you. All right, next we have commissioners. We have bridge update for 29.8-C.5 River Road. Fund balance discussion and KDHE illegal dump discussion. Is there any update outside of executive session for the bridge?
No.
Okay. The fund balance discussion, our finance director had sent us an email. Sorry, I gotta find it really quick here. Good morning. I would like to. Right, well, we're just gonna go down the list then of the additions too. So we have sports complex PO addition.
21. One for the batting cage and then one is for the concrete batting cages. They're both batting cages.
Okay, well, I'm gonna hold on that one then. We have grant opportunities. So Mark had sent us an email for grant opportunities. He said 2 commissioners had forwarded him separately the email for the rainbow grant. So just wondering if you guys want to discuss direction for that. I read through what he sent us of the what you can do, what you can't do. And I responded to him and Susan wondering if that could be a really good fit for maybe the Atchison County Lake Committee. To go after some funds, based on that grant, because nothing really stuck out in my mind. Based on what it had for a county need, unless you guys have one.
I don't, I think I'm one of them that I think I just saw it and I forwarded it to him because.
That's what I did too.
And so I didn't have anything specifically. It's like, cause he can see what it fits,
Yep.
he knows the finances, the things that, the different, fits that would go through, even if it's not really county so much as maybe county influence. So,
He responded to me that it would very much be something that the Atchison County Lake Committee could go after after we discuss as a board. He could send that information to Ian and have him run with it, or if there's something else that you want him to go after, but just, are we
I don't
good
have
with him
anything that,
sending that on to the committee?
I think that'd be fine.
Okay, so I will respond to him to say, go ahead and send that on to the committee. I had brought up this morning about the Northeast Kansas multi-county bylaws and resolution to get those updated, because the resolution was from the 70s and Donovan County is not part of it anymore. So with the new executive director coming on, we just feel like it's good to bring everything up. So the takeaway was for me to get with the Atchison board members, see when they're available, and then schedule a workshop with us. Commissioners and Pat, and then the board members. Okay, we have a contract that our IT is working on with county counselor to make a couple additional updates. After review, Mr. Henderson just had a few things that needs tweaked, but the IT director was hoping to allow the chair to sign these documents yet this week before our next meeting. So I would look for a motion to allow the chair to sign the Crow scope of service document, engagement letter, once county counselor and IT director have the final version. So do I have a motion to approve my signature this week?
Yeah, so move this in.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. I can summarize it. I just can't find his email right now, but basically Mark was wanting to come to us, I believe it was on a monthly basis with a fund balance discussion.
Yeah, that was,
So just making sure commission's good with him, giving him that direction, that will be helpful. That will be wonderful to see revenues, expenditures, not only just focusing on budget balances, but also our fund balances. So that sounds like we're in favor of his suggestion, and
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I want to
We
be.
can try that, see what.
all right. And so then oh, I forgot to pass these around. I'm sorry. These are the minutes. And then the last one was the KDHE legal dump discussion. Toby Kuhn was here last week and explained to us the KDHE illegal dump program that can provide property owners up to $10,000 of assistance. 7,500 of that goes through KDHE with a 25% match from the county. That can be in-kind services. And we took a tour of a few of the properties that were listed on our nuisance list. And just to qualify, because it's not, it won't go in and clean up everything. It's targeted at solid waste. So trash, iron, different things that just trash, that needs to be cleaned up. And we had identified a handful of those properties that could be, eligible. I know Mr. Campbell, was reaching out to one of the property owners, and I was reaching out to one of the property owners, and, he had sent us the document for the illegal dump program request form. So basically, it was my understanding that this initiates it, the discussion. So we identify the property, we walk through this, fill it out. He then gets with the property owner direct to explain the program, qualify them for assistance, and kind of just then communicates with us updates. Yes.
Will this in any way affect the budget of the department that we're gonna probably be solid waste department? That would have to initiate or absorb the costs until the reimbursement. Are there gonna be instances where we're not gonna get fully reimbursed? So is it gonna have to come out of their budget, basically? I mean, we need to probably have them in and talk to them about it. To see if, is that gonna be a fit? And I get it. I'm assuming that it would fit the criteria of being the sales tax. Since it's sales tax funded, that if sales tax is going to that is an approved expense, so that's got more restrictions on it, since it's, solid waste, it should be solid waste, but I just had a question to make sure that since that's something that's that hasn't been done before with it, that would be an approved expense, because we just started talking about where this would actually, at first I was thinking maybe it was gonna be out of road and bridge, but if
I think solid waste makes more sense.
it does seem like it's a better fit, but again, since it's a dedicated tax, I wanted to make sure that didn't somehow fall through the cracks and be a non-permitted expense.
Yeah. So I definitely think we need, if we are gonna move forward with this, that we bring the department head in and let them know that they'll be reaching out for scheduling. Historically, when we first did the countywide cleanup, or maybe it was when the extension office moved out of Effingham, we provided a roll-off out behind there. And really, Stacy just kind of works it into her schedule, right? Because we have guys out moving roll-offs, we have the equipment to do the things, and it's really just her knowing how to send her staff. I wouldn't think that it would be in addition to, especially in-kind services, you're paying them to do this or you're paying them to do that. It's just more coordination, I think. And getting her in the loop of this is the plan. And maybe it probably would be better for Toby to explain to her exactly, because he'll be on site the whole time, and if it's dropping a roll off or if it's.
He mentioned paying time and a half. Does that mean that anybody working, out of landfill working for him, they're gonna actually receive the time and a half? Is that how you took it?
That's the way I took it, but I don't know how that.
So I took it as that was what he was calculating for our 2,500. Like it was his equation to get to that 25%. Because same with the roll off, like what would you charge for a roll? Like there's certain things that he has a pay metrics for to get us to that 25% match, not necessarily what we're governed to.
So he's helping us. To
Yeah.
Get
It's
reach
more-
that point.
It would be credited, not necessarily paid.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I think that's probably right.
I'm glad that you bring that up, because that's another thing for the assistance is this isn't gonna just be a here, Eric, you qualify, here's some money, like it's going through the program, so. Which is fine for the people that genuinely want this assistance. I think it'll be great. Because my specific example on conversations with them, they want to clean up, they want to get in compliance, they just didn't have the means, and they asked me to find some assistance, so sounds like
I think it sounds great. Martha talked about it. Of course, she Doniphan County was gonna meet with Toby then this week. I think it was probably yesterday. And she was telling our committee about it and she thought it was a great program. Again, since it's statewide, I don't think that we will probably, it's not like we're gonna all of a sudden have 10 properties that are okay, because it's gonna be, it has to be spread around by him statewide. And if word gets out, and it becomes more popular, it'll be harder to get some of these done.
So I think he mentioned 3 this fiscal year. So if we've identified 2 that are, we should identify 3. To me, I was like, if he said 3, we should submit 3 and get the ball rolling with them. So do we want to fill out these forms or vote based on the addresses? Because 2411 Pacific as well as 6455 Rollins are both qualified based on our tour and have they're willing partners to work with us on this to get us some assistance.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we should reiterate that basically what we're doing here is we're taking the next step. So we have a resolution that kind of handles, these things and nuisances but this actually takes it to the next step because that I know of, we haven't gotten involved in mediation physically.
Right.
Gotten into it. So this is actually a step further than we have normally gone.
In a positive
But we're
way.
not taking the step, we're approving it for somebody else to take that next step. So I just want to keep that in mind because this is a new territory, as far as I know, for the county. We're allowing the state to come in and work with our blessing, work with these folks and try to clean up the property. So we just have to understand that, hopefully there won't be a lot of backlash, but because you can agree to something and then once you realize how it's going to be done, then you might not be as happy going into it as you were initially. Because once we sign off on it and put the address and hand it over to Mr. Kuhn, it's a done deal, right? If he agrees to fund it, if he agrees, then he moves forward. And so from our point of view, it's funded by the state primarily. We do our part, but it's primarily funded by the state. And that's the incentive for us, right? Is that there's funding that is going to help these cleanups. And it offsets our side of it, our responsibility financially. But I just wanted to make clear that I read through this. And I read through the documentation that you sent out or forwarded. And it is if for some reason in the midst of this, the parties don't agree that the state goes ahead and cleans it no matter what. At that point, once we give them the okay, it's a done deal. Like they're either gonna do it and comply and work with the state, or they're going to do it.
Yes.
So-
Regardless, the state takes over and does it regardless. Once they've signed on to the deal and we've signed on to the deal, right?
Well, so let's talk through that because when he was here, he did mention other counties that had done it that had
Yes, I'm in a meeting
canceled
right now.
Okay.
with him.
Can I call you back later?
And so, because that's one of the things I was trying to think over the weekend of like, are there any cons to this? Right? Pros and cons, like these, and from our meeting last week, I even had a constituent reach out and say, how do you get on this list? And I was like, well, the list was born prior to me being here, but the ones that have gotten on the list since I've been here send anonymous complaint forms, contact the state direct, which, that's kind of how we've learned about different things. Or they're reported to us via email or some way to have
Or
Martha.
directly
Yeah.
to any K.S. and they've put them on.
So So just talking through what's already in place. We get an email, hey, this property has trash blowing on me, whatever the situation is. Then we turn it to Northeast Kansas Environmental. Martha goes out, takes photos, talks to them, comes up with a plan of cleanup. Where the buck stops is then constituents saying, you haven't done anything. I've contacted Commissioner, we haven't seen any progress. We keep seeing those too, because usually we get multiple ones. And they don't see progress. So this is just another avenue to assist us with progress, but also assist the folks that need to clean up with the financial assistance that they're asking for. Now to your point, when we drove around, he said he works with the owner. The owner will be on site. So he won't just come in and say, oh, that's trash, even though it's something you're saving or you're, they have those conversations. So, and then the qualification, if you're asking for assistance for cleanup because you don't have the financial means, this is going to give it to you. If you're saying you don't have the financial means, but you end up having financial means, you're just not cleaning it up, well, then that just negates that excuse. You're going to have to do something. So then at that point, can you, as a property owner, find other means to satisfy Mr. Coon's requirement? I guess it would be a question. You know what I mean? Like if I'm signing up for this and I think I'm going to get my place cleaned up, and then I submit my application and they're like, oh, you can do that. So then they're going to come in and clean it up and expect you to pay to have it cleaned up. Do you have the option to say, okay, look, I'm going to have my buddy come over. We're going to get it cleaned up. Like, it sounded to me like he works with them and he hasn't had very many that weren't positive.
I think what my point is though, is that we're going beyond the point that we've ever gone, and we're actually giving the authority to the state to go that route. When we sign off here, I took it that yes, he contacts the property owner, but we have in a sense given the state the authority to go ahead and do it their way. In other words, force the issue even if the property owner doesn't comply, doesn't work with the state at the point that we've given them the okay, because basically we've said it's a nuisance. And we've given now the state the authorization to go ahead and take over basically from there. Hopefully the landowner and property owner works with Mr. Coon and is settled that way. But in the midst of that, at any point, if the property owner says, I'm done with you, I don't like what you're doing, the state just continues moving on without their assistance, is what I read. I don't know if anybody else had a different opinion of that, but
It's kind of the way I read it.
yeah.
So also, who's going to do the means testing? I mean, someone says, well, I don't have the funds to do it, but
He
does.
Somebody in his office does, yeah.
okay.
He said,
I didn't
I
catch
can't remember who exactly he said, but somebody either in his office or in his scope or his expertise kind of does it, but
So from where we're currently at is if they don't comply with any KES requests, we typically, the letter states misdemeanors and all these things, which haven't really been enforced.
right.
And so we had learned, well, you can do the injunction, which kind of forces a hand a little bit more. At the end of the day, we're just trying to work with them to get compliant. So I guess I was trying to understand the difference of maybe it's because Mr. Coon will be a little bit more strict than Mrs. Smith, because either way, we have things in place that should be making a difference, but we're not making a difference, it feels like. And also that we've learned that we, as the county, unlike the city, we can't go in and clean up a property for them and then abate it onto, or put it onto their tax roll, like a weed ordinance, right? Like we can go mow and solve the problem and then bill it to them. Like as the county, we can't do that. So this is just, I guess I'm just trying to understand if there's a negative to it.
Well, like I said, the negative would be the fact that we're turning over authority to the state. And then they go with it, and I just want to make sure that we've decided that the properties that we submit to him, you know, we've decided that at that point, it's ready for that level, because
So then this kind of stems with additional discussions, right? Does it make sense for us? But so he told us though, he doesn't want us explaining this program. He needs to be the one doing it.
yeah,
But do we want to get to the fact of, like, I always like the discussion before commitment, right? Like, of, do we want to talk to these people with us, like in a workshop setting, and have Mr. Kuhn maybe via phone to say, all right, this is what we're trying to accomplish here.
well.
I guess I don't want any negative. I don't feel like it was a negative.
Well, theoretically, it could be a wonderful experience. I mean, if all goes well, it could be the state paid for most of it. We got a good result. The property owner is happy. They were helped theoretically.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
But most of these folks that have accumulated these things, you know, we don't know. We just don't know how it's
well,
gonna go until.
so, and for instance, on my example, the one in my district, it's not gonna be, to his point, a home and garden show when you're done.
Right.
Because on my particular property, there's a burnt structure that won't be cleaned up. There's vehicles and motorhomes and things that won't be cleaned up. It's just a piece of here and there. So I guess with that being said, what does that look like?
See,
Because
if they would go in and see, my concern is that we submit the paperwork that okays the state to proceed. And then by then it's official. They're given the green light, the state is. Then they go in and try to negotiate with the property owner. Is it
Backwards.
Is it too late, or is there another version where they go in,
have a conversation.
check out the temperature of the property owner and the compliance, you know, possibility, and then come to us and say, okay, we've discussed the procedure with the client, so to speak, and they're ready to proceed, and then you see what I'm saying? Because it
Yeah.
feels like if we give the green light and something doesn't sit right with the property owner, we've jumped a step that we normally don't even take
Mhm.
countywide, and we've given it to so if we could maybe reach out to Mr. Kuhn one time and just say, hey, could you explain this part of the process? What do you think, Eric? I don't know.
And when he talked about it, remember he said there was a document that the county and himself and the property owner signed. And this isn't that.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you of like, hey, explain it, obtain the consent from them. And then when they say yes, then we're like, okay, we'll support it. Like, let's do this.
I don't want it to, I feel like if it's the other way around, if we sit here today and say, you know what, this is a great deal, the funding's great, we're getting this cleaned up, we signed off on, then he contacts the homeowner, is it too late?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Have we given the state the green light to?
It's not the way I took it. I thought that it was then, once they're identified, this is basically an identifier. Then Mr. Kuhn would contact them and visit and see, and it's gonna have to be a determination also whether they're financially,
Hi, this is
Qualified.
Atchison County. No, let me get you to the treasurer, 1 second. No, here, let me just give you their direct line, 1 second. Because you just called the commission room, so the Atchison County treasurer. Is that right? I don't think that's right. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, someone gave you the wrong number. I have it here. I'll give you the updated one in 1 second. Let me find the updated ones. Should probably print a copy for this room. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you just rang down to the commission room. Here we go. Okay, I'm sorry, you were told the wrong number. Hold on, I'll get you that. Okay, so if you do 913-8804. Yep. And do you want the treasurer's office or the actual treasurer? Okay, 6050. Yeah. Yeah, do 913-804-6050. I would just do it to be safe, probably. Okay, we're in a commission meeting, so I'm gonna have to go, but that's the phone number to get you to the treasurer's office. Yep, 6050. You called 604, sorry. Yep, you bet. Sorry. Okay, and then
It's
that's
good.
the phone list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have it. Okay, so
So,
consensus is we want to talk to the people first with Mr. Coon.
yeah, and I was just, and maybe that's the case, maybe that's the way it's supposed to go. I just didn't want to get ahead of it and authorize him to move forward and then us not see. Like you said, if we get the signature after he gets his, the property owners, then then
Yeah.
it's all good.
Absolutely. Well, and also when he tells us not to explain the program, I know my individual, I want them to know that this isn't going to look great when we leave. You're still going to probably need to do some things, right? So,
Yeah.
but we can't explain that. It has to come from him. So, okay. Well, that's a good sticking point.
And I
then.
think
So,
there's plenty of identifiable properties that people can be talked to and they would agree to it. And then I think eventually you might get to the point where you have those that don't want to be compliant at all. That might be a different issue, but I think we would see how the system works before we get to that point.
Exactly.
so the only thing that concerns me was his wording. Back to me was I can contact the property owner in advance if the county is certain about a particular site. So that's,
Yeah,
understanding like how to be the most successful at this.
yeah, we can give him, like you said, 2 or 3 properties. We've kind of got those in mind.
Yep.
And then he contacts and he gets with that property owner and
The temperature.
then gets back to us.
Okay.
Because why ruffle feathers
Yep.
and let the state do the dirty work when we haven't
Yeah.
ever gone that route?
Yep. Okay, so we've identified 2. Do you guys have a third one? Because there were, I made notes of which ones were applicable.
The one that I talked to, I'd really like to see that one cleaned up. But
Okay.
I don't, since so much of that stuff is scrap stuff and they don't touch that I don't know whether he would go for that.
Okay.
But do you want me to talk to him and just peripheral kind
Yep.
of see if he'd be open to it?
Yep.
Okay.
Was that one that would need means though? That's the only thing.
I think he would. I don't know.
Okay, because making sure he knows it's cost assistance based on
Neat.
qualifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you'll check on that one. All right, so Those are the three identified. Good? All right, so I'm gonna star those and then I'll send a follow-up email to him, kind of outlining what we're talking about.
You might be thinking of another third one if that one don't work out, so.
Okay.
And we don't have to sign off on any kind of a statement resolution before it.
See, so he said the
That's-
sample resolution should not be passed at this time, only
Okay.
if there will be funds expended on the site. So the sample resolution is if they qualify for the funds, I
Okay,
guess.
Okay. I,
But to your point, this only having us probably should have the property owner prior to us. And then also I would like to ask if you guys are fine, if they could explain the county that didn't go forward with it, so we could just understand, the situation. Okay, so we've covered all of those. County clerk, we have a request for third quarter maintenance for the sports complex.
Okay. That is right here.
Thank you. Okay, so this is just our quarterly 80-20 split of the 12,500, 10,000 going to ASAF, 2,500 going to USD 377. And the chair will sign this document, so I would look for a motion to approve the July 15th written request for management and operating reserve fund. Indenture, bond trust indenture for $12,500.
So move.
say,
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the request for payment for Atchison Sports and Fitness for the Atchison Recreation, the batting cage. Okay. All right, so this is a request for payment. This will be part of that 400,000 that we allocated a couple years ago, December of 22. If we approve this invoice, this will leave Atchison's remaining allotment at 64,551.02. And this is an invoice to Grand Slam Safety for pole supported batting cage in the amount of $13,389. Do I have a motion to approve?
so
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. And then presentation of R&R pricing.
One more.
Oh, sorry.
Concrete for the benefit.
Oh, this is for the concrete. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the one that I added to the agenda. A request for payment to S&M Construction for concrete for the batting cages. It's 50% of the total project cost paid up front in the amount of $17,579. And this is for ASAF in Atchison. Do I have a motion to approve?
Wait a minute. Why was it the ASAF?
Well, it's for the Atchison Sports Complex. So, does it all funnel through them,
That's our contract.
Yeah.
It's with-
even though it's the recreation? Nick submitted it, but
But we're paying concrete company on
yes,
them.
sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
But it's
that's-
for Atchison, not USD 377. Sorry, it's for Atchison.
Okay, well,
Yeah, we
it
pay.
made it sound
S&M
like it was
Construction.
something that we were paying them. so-
Sorry, no, we pay S&M Construction. For half of it.
Or I'll make a motion.
Okay,
second,
moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
passes 3-0. Sorry, Eric, didn't mean. Hurt my word. Okay.
Want to pass them on?
Oh, yep.
So that, I guess, we're okay to go on to the.
Yep.
Okay, so this is quotes for R&R printing. Postalocity, what I tried to do here was compare them because you get the quotes formatted from different companies in different ways. And so one might do it by pages, one might do it by like the item, like the envelopes. And so this is a comparing apples to apples. Postalocity, I was not really able to get to compare apples to apples because I didn't get answers back from them on quotes. However, theirs were a lot higher than the other two already, so I wasn't too concerned about it. Understanding that these might change a bit because we may end up with more or fewer, but these are for front and back, black and white for the R&R statement. A secondary insert, two-sided in color. And envelopes, postage, folded, inserted, everything out the door. The one for Master's Touch, I did a calculation based on how she sent her quote. And then yesterday I was able to get in touch with her and she sent me what she calculated with the same number. So you can see that we're super close with the. So I feel like that's a good estimate. So I think I would recommend going with Master's Touch. I did reach out to Poor Richards, but I did not hear back to see if they wanted to bid it.
And then this is on top of,
That is like a separate thing on top of if you guys want to do a return mail. In my clerk's roundtable forum, that had come up that several of the clerks were having trouble
just
getting signed up for it, and I was like, what is that even? Because we aren't signed up for that. So that's through the USPS.
this, what they're
That-
talking about is.
That reach business reply mail. So if you wanted to do that for the survey, I could reach out further to see if either of these companies can add that in. Or otherwise, I think you'd have to go through USPS to do the.
And you were gonna find out if this was charged
And, yeah.
up front or if it's charged.
Yeah.
After they send them.
If you guys are interested in it, I'll dig into it. I didn't see it
Are
said
you
that-
familiar with that? Cause I don't know how that works. If you send these out and they're not used. Do you
Do
pay
you
the
still pay
postage?
for it, or do you only pay for it if someone returns it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
I don't know how that works either.
I'm a no on return.
Yeah.
Okay, so potentially, I mean, what are we looking at total then if we did a return? Do you have, I mean, would it be double this or would it?
So I suppose if you asked either one of these, so postage went up July 13th. That's also something to be aware of. So I'm glad you asked about that. So right now, through these companies, it's basically like 0.545 for postage. 54 and a half cents. But it went up on July 13th, and I don't have a set rate from any of them yet. So all of these will go up somewhat because postage has gone up. But what was your question about?
Well, I was just trying to figure out.
If you wanted to
what
send
the
out, so it
final
would be,
figure would
yeah, it
be.
would be at whatever you could estimate now at 0.545
Okay,
for each one.
Okay.
Plus an envelope. Which, like you can see here for the. I didn't print these off and sent it to, but you can see there for the. Master's Touch has theirs broken out by envelope cost. So, you can see what that cost would be there. The other has it. As you can see, like combined in, envelopes combined in with the price, so you don't have those individual breakouts. Does that make sense? A lot of those are estimates based on how many multiples we'll have, based on what we had last year. We may have more, we may have less. Master's Touch will. As I'm understanding, Copyco, if it's multiples, just automatically puts it into a 9x12 envelope. And ships it. Master's Touch, they have a software program that will tell them if they can fit everything from a certain property owner into 3 of the, what is it, 4x10 or the standard 10-inch envelopes. If they can fit into 3 of those is cheaper than 1 9x12. So they have the system that will check all that and figure out the most cost-effective way to send it versus just automatically, if you've got more than one, going in a 9x12. That makes sense?
So do you need a motion today
Well,
to go with Master's Touch?
I think that it would be good to get them on board. Had we been able to like make the decision sooner, which lesson learned for next year, you'd see on that Master's Touch that we could have avoided, there's like an onboarding fee. So if we do it quickly, we have a $300 onboarding fee instead of a $500. So that would be great, but it's also $200, and if you guys feel like you need more time to think it over, then that's okay too, but we're also looking at submitting this information to them by like the 25th or 28th, so I think it would be good for them to, whoever we're going with, to know and have, so we can get on their schedule and in their plan.
Well, so
Great plan.
regardless of what commissioners decide on survey or envelopes, you have to have a path forward.
I do.
So
R&R.
I don't think there's a reason to wait to,
Right.
okay. So I would
Get
look,
in and get on their
yeah,
agenda.
Yeah,
all right. So I would look for a motion to approve the county clerk's recommendation of Master's Touch for her R&R print mailing, printing and mailers for 2026 budget and R&R figures. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. You need anything signed or just in the minutes is fine.
I
Do
think,
you want us to sign any of this that you gave us or?
once you sign that. You could sign this, yeah. Understanding that it may come back at somewhat different price, right? Because remember from previous years.
Son.
Thank you.
Okay. So 11 o'clock. Let's do the non-elected
Yeah.
commissioners, treasurer. 30 minutes? 30 minutes probably be good.
Just us four?
Yeah.
Okay. We ready?
Yep.
I'll move the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 10:55 AM to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B1. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee. And the board come out of executive session in 30 minutes in the commission room basement of the courthouse basement. And those present will be the 3 commissioners and county treasurer
And county counselor.
and county council.
Yeah. Okay, I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes. And we're back in open session. One quick question. So you're out next week. We kind of wanted to have an opportunity to recap with you what some of the audit, I don't know if you were able to watch our
I was
meeting.
not, I wasn't even aware that she was going to be here.
Okay, because one of the things that we learned as commissioners to do better is like, we should not be signing these cash summaries when there's negatives. And so just some of the things we learned, I'd love to sit with Mark and you sometime, so we can make sure that what we learned, we can correct in the future. So maybe I'll have Mark get with you to see what works for your schedule, and we can set up a workshop or time to go through it or get you on the agenda just to make sure. Cause I'm hesitant, what we learned, I'm hesitant, I know you did, but to keep signing off when we're learning, we've learned.
And I think
things.
a lot of that is exactly what we just talked about, is that
Yep.
it just needs to be moved into that fund. And so Mark does a lot of those transfers, so.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you.
Is that not printed? This one. All right, I'm gonna print us a copy of that. Yeah. Is our printer out of paper by chance? Can you see it? Okay, thank you. Okay, so survey, well, what else? There. Thank you, Susan.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we have an executive session, sorry, I forgot about that. 15 minutes, attorney-client. And then we'll go through unfinished business after that.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
I'll move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 11:28 AM for a consultation with an attorney for the public body, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319B2. And that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the confidentiality of the discussion, and that the board come out of executive session in 15 minutes in the commission room of the courthouse basement, and those present will be 3 commissioners and county councilor.
Bridge. The subject is 29.8-C.5 River Road Bridge.
I don't think we need to put the topic that's in there. I think that invades the attorney-client relationship, so I don't think you did. And nor do I think it's a good idea. Generally, because if you leave it out sometime, then people will be asking what are you discussing? And it's really nobody's business but ours.
Okay.
Okay, we are back in open session. And we will have an executive session, attorney-client with commissioners. How long, Pat?
I don't think it would take 10 minutes maybe.
Okay, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, 3 commissioners and county councilor.
Yep,
And this is personnel matters.
attorney-client.
It's another. Okay, I'll move the Board of County Commissioners recess in executive session at
Oh, and the county clerk.
11:45 AM for consultation with an attorney for the public body, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-4319 B2. And the purpose of the closed session is to protect the confidentiality of the discussion, and that the board come out of executive session in 10 minutes in the commission room of the courthouse basement. And those present will be 3 commissioners, county councilor, and county clerk.
Second, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. We're back in. Okay, we are back in open session. Where are we at on survey? Well, actually, the fair permit,
On the one?
the Atchison County Fair. All elected officials of the state, county, or city, are asked to be at the front of the parade. So do we want to fill this out and encourage our other elected officials to join in on?
Sure.
Okay, so we can figure this out. I think the feedback was that I've received is our fair flyer, although good information, when given at the parade, it gets with all the other political junk and maybe not read as well. I told him about when you and I sat at that table.
Not one person.
I know, not people just didn't, they kind of bypassed us and went in, so. Do we want to look at a vehicle or one of the county vehicles and just,
Just ride again?
and then we can just fill it out as that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I just want to make sure all the other elected officials know, that they should join us. So, okay.
Now, on that, we have encouraged employees to walk alongside and hand out candy and stuff. Are we gonna have them do that and just us ride, or are we just gonna do just the 3 commissioners riding?
Their instruction on their letter is all elected officials from the state, county, or city are asked to be at the front of the parade. Each person or group shall provide their own transportation with signs indicating who they represent. So when we were all walking, I guess I don't feel good about, hey, we'll ride if you want to walk. Like, it just doesn't feel good. But that's just me. I mean,
That's probably right, yeah. You know,
I mean, historically, yes, when we had Senior Village and we all walked together and passed out candy, it felt good. That was a good feeling. But based on this, and if we're riding, I think we should just maybe do that.
Okay.
Are they having the, like, county employees? Do they
We,
have a thing for county employees to walk?
so like EMS has a section, the sheriff has a section, Road and Bridge, Noxious Weed, I think took their truck one year. Like, so yes, other county
not just
departments
elected,
had,
Has
Yeah.
departmental, okay.
Yep. departments, rescues in there. Yeah, there's other.
I think
departments.
department heads that were running for office, elected officials have had floats in the parade too.
What about county employees and do they bring their families along to walk with them?
So I always have brought my family, and then historically, when we walked to Eric's point with staff and stuff, they brought families, and it was.
Like you each will
It
be in
was-
a separate vehicle of your own, is that what you'll do?
No, that was when we walked.
Oh, okay,
So when we ride, it'll probably just be us.
Yeah.
so you won't bring your kids?
Right.
Okay.
That was just like passing out candy and flyers. It was fun to have.
Remind me of that date.
That was August. The parade is Friday, August 8th at 7 PM. And the theme is Blue Jeans and Country Dreams.
See, Friday, August 8th
Yep.
at 7 PM.
Where is it?
And then,
Downtown.
yeah, I can show you the map where we come in this alley by the church.
By the Union Church, north of the Union Church.
if possible, please enter. We need to be in place by 6:30.
Are they saying we can't walk anymore?
No.
No. No, I mean, if you wanna walk, it just. When we all walk together, but if we're gonna get in a vehicle and expect staff to walk, like it just didn't feel maybe great. If we're not gonna pass out the things anymore and the candy, but.
But what about the county still, like, if you guys wanna ride in the front? But, like, can the county as, like, together walk behind and still pass out candy?
That'd be wonderful. It's just historically, they've been by department, like they put EMS at the end, I think, toward the end. I feel like the
So
rescue vehicles were in there with the boat and
Mm.
sometimes the
Like-
rangers, like it,
The sheriff.
yeah, everybody kind of, each department I think gets invited,
So who
maybe.
did you walk? You guys just walked,
We were just,
you and your family.
and then we invited staff to walk with us because we were passing stuff out and candy and like,
So staff walked with you instead of their departments?
well,
There weren't a lot.
we had, yeah.
Oh.
It was like, yes, we've had like county councilor, HR, senior village. It was just whoever wanted to, and
Can you opt to walk and do the candy instead of riding up front, or no? I mean, would you even?
Yeah.
If that would, I don't know, if you prefer.
we just really wanted it to be beneficial with the information we passed out, but
Yeah,
at a parade, a lot of times they're just putting it in a
Yeah.
bag and
Yeah.
they're not really,
Or on the ground.
yeah. Or just saying, I don't want it. That happened to me last year. Yeah, so, okay, well, there's that. Next survey questions. Are we doing these? Because. I know I just wanna make sure because we have to give them to her, like, ready. Final draft
Next week.
Tuesday.
Yeah, there was
well, you
only,
have to have them all decided by Tuesday, and then. I guess, yeah, you have to have it in front of you and like approved layout and everything. By Tuesday.
there was only one change that I wanted to make, and it wasn't anything. Yeah, so I just wanted to put in that question number 5 to offset property tax, that they understood that, you know. In some form or fashion, not necessarily, that, but just.
Yeah.
I wanted people to understand the purpose for it.
So would you support a sales tax to offset property taxes?
Yeah, something to that effect, because you really don't kind of understand where you're coming from. They don't get why we're asking that question. So, but the rest of them were fine.
So, my only fear. Is if you're doing it. Making sure we're doing it. Because in historic years, whether it's expenditures going up or utilizing cash. If they say yes and you give them the opportunity and they vote on it. They better see a reduction. In property taxes. Does that make sense? Like if you're, cause I watched this for Allen County too. Of like. And I think that will help, right? Offset if you choose. One or the other. You will see the reduction. And feel it. I guess that's my only concern. I get it, 100%, that's the goal. We're not trying to add a sales tax to add more tax. We want it to offset property tax, that's the end goal, that is what we want. But just making sure that we hold our own feet to the fire that happens. Like that they feel that.
Yeah, well, let's be realistic here. Okay? If at best, it stabilizes and levels out. Property tax, that's really all you're after. I'm not saying reduction,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying stabilize and offset. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, no,
Let's be careful with how we word that.
No,
because-
100%, but wording, I know wording matters, cause other counties watching it, they're. And even people picking up on the conversation and reiterating it, oh, do you hear that, we need to be very clear.
Yeah, I've never said reduction, I've always said offset or stabilized, but not,
The timeline would be to try to pass it in 2026. It wouldn't kick in until 2027.
I don't know how early you can put it on the ballot, but we have, I believe, 3 special elections that we can propose. I believe I'll have to look at that again, but that changed, right? That was one of the laws that changed was they said you cannot hold a special election anytime you want now. It's like, I think it's April, I think it's August, and I think it's November. I think those are the 3 months now that you can do it, April or March or April. So we have, I don't know traditionally how it works. You have to send it to the state and they go through that process. And then they give you the approval and then you put it on
The
the
ballot.
ballot at one of those times. So,
To me, we'd want to stick with primary or general, just because that's the most well attended and
And I think that primary would probably be the best in this case, because then you have the 100 days that you would be able to start January 1st, because when we did the other one, the change, it didn't take effect until April 1st, because they have to have so many days between the election and the implementation at the Department of Revenue. So if you wanted to start January 1st, you need to get it done in August. You'd need to have that one. Also, how would that look? Say, we're a year from now, we've got it coming on the ballot, but we have to set an R and R. Would you have to have 2 budgets ready to plug in? So in August 1st or 2nd, you would have your election. If it passed, the budget with the sales tax is one that you would go with. And if it failed, then you would have to have an alternate budget with because
I would think so. Yeah, I would-
how does that work?
I would
Maybe that's a
think-
Mark thing, because when you already have to publish your budget, how are you gonna publish alternate budgets?
Well, actually, that timing. I think is good because you have your R&R hearing. The 3rd or 4th week.
Yeah, I guess we wouldn't have to publish before that.
And so actually, the timing is good because then you can say, well, it didn't pass, so this is the
Yep.
result.
or it passed and this is the result.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the timing,
That's really
I
nice.
like that timing,
Yeah, I do too.
but
So that's to me, about the only,
all this is doing is checking, the sentiment now. And here we are almost a year out from putting it on a ballot. So I think we have a lot of time to go ahead and do that. And that result, or actually, we wouldn't have that this year by the time the R&R, because we wouldn't have that information back yet. But we can also present it at this upcoming hearing, that this is what we're looking at doing.
well, I think that if Alan the other night was talking about how we need to make our decision and get to him so we can start working with the revisers.
Yeah.
And getting something on the books. So I think that,
Did he give you a deadline? Is he,
no deadline, but he said the sooner the better.
okay? Now,
So on the survey, we had talked when Mark had said, if I do a perforated thing for the holidays. You really want that to come out of your informational, not this survey that comes back to you. We quoted one front and back color. But. What are the visions? Are we doing, cause if the informational sheet's gonna be separate to this. We should utilize the space if we're paying for it. To add more. Or. Were there other mailers that we can
that was what I was gonna ask. Is
Coming
there another
up
mailer?
with that we could,
Pat, what comes up next? The actual,
Could we do like a half sheet?
is it like in November,
Or-
December, the tax statement.
Along,
Yeah,
That's
I
what
mean-
comes, that's what goes up.
Well,
like
Well,
an
they're
envelope size piece.
so I
This one,
guess
yeah,
if we utilize this sheet, just like this
but then
format,
after that, it's.
and
the-
this could be your perforated line,
Oh,
on
wait,
the
so
back,
it
you
goes
could
to
have your
hearings and
holidays. And then the rest of the information, which they would read and send
No.
back, which doesn't
No,
really
no,
matter.
We're
So
talking
then we
about
could keep it to
Okay.
one
And
sheet.
then the next.
Does that sound
tax
okay?
statements
Okay.
and-
So,
The
because
inquiry
really,
would be
based on
exactly-
his chart he
Okay,
sent us,
that's what I
this would kind of match it. So you just cut down here, put it on your fridge, and then have the information here.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Okay.
if they are sending back. This much of the thing, everything that's on this backside, they're not keeping.
right. So it'd be more of just read or take a copy of the information and send it
Send it back.
back. Okay. Oh, this is your copy. I'll print another copy.
Here, it's right on mine.
Okay. Okay, and what information? Okay, so we're gonna do the holidays here. We're gonna change number 5 to offset property tax.
It says offset there, but is that how you want it phrased?
Oh. He did adjust it.
But is that how,
Oh, did he?
is that how you want it phrased? Read it.
Would you support a sales tax to offset property taxes?
And then to fund, in order to fund.
For any of the following? And your information sheet's gonna be definitions, right?
It can be, we don't have to do that. if you
No,
don't
I'm
want
just
to, but
asking,
yeah,
that's
I
on
have it
yours.
here. Um,
Because I was just trying to wonder what we want, because understanding what they're looking at is very important. And if she's sending this out, so we should have the date of our hearings on here.
but this is this,
Well, that'll have it on there.
this will be like close to the front. The company we went with will make it look like this. They'll put our logo on it.
So this is really good. That'll have the information.
But edit that and see if there's anything that you want. We don't need that. Let's. People ask often about this. I'm new. I don't know what people ask about. I just pulled info from online of like FAQs. There may be. Other things you want to answer. So here are the things that real estate tax informational sheets. These things,
Oh, yeah.
and here's this as well that he had shot over as like,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Which we can shrink these babies down too.
And do you need all of that? You get it too small, you won't be able to read it.
What is that?
I think there's a backside.
I think
That's,
25 and 26 would be.
It's like understanding your county tax, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you want that on the backside instead of the information sheet. The whole thing. Instead of the definition, let's not.
No, I like your thing.
Okay.
Like, that's really good to help them. Because at the end of the day, they don't understand what they're looking at, so that is helpful. Um. We put real estate tax info. We could do a road and bridge facility update. Overall. Are we going to? Like, to me, I almost feel like we should implement, a user fee at solid waste for the shortfall. Versus adding it into ad valorem. Because if that's something we could do, a structure, we could put that on there. I mean, because at the end of the day, just absorbing it isn't good.
So we have to, what are we doing here? Picking one or the other?
Well, so that's hers.
This-
So, yep, so hers will be that, and then we just need to utilize this space to figure out, and mark on our fair flyers, this baby it can be shrunk down, like
Okay.
small. He just gave us that as an example.
I like that. Yes.
You know, yeah, that could be, sorry. This. I mean, I'm just trying to put myself in the. Of a taxpayer, and if I'm choosing. To vote on a new one. But I know I'm paying property tax on one that I just did. And a lot of people don't know about the quarter cent sports complex yet either. So like just having the information to take in, I think would be helpful. Seven. And I can't remember how the solid waste joint communication one read, but I believe it sunsets in 10 years.
This may be done, but is it an opportunity for you guys to take a little space and you're putting the information out there that people might not be able to then summarize that or glean like, what does that mean? So is it an opportunity for you guys to summarize like what you see as struggles of the county or what you see as like barriers or the good things or, whatever, however you want to do it, but just, am I making sense?
Yeah, you are. Well, and I'm making some notes because we could summarize struggles and celebrate wins.
Yeah,
Because to me, that's what
Yeah.
it is.
yeah. We're struggling with maybe a little bit of, this is what you see why, or.
Okay. So, um. You guys have any other input on that to get that baby finalized for next week?
On the information side,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we're just
that-
sticking with these 7 questions with that one type of holidays and then adding information. Okay,
yeah, I just,
I'm more,
well, if we have a draft of that, then we can X out or add more information to kind of put the final tweaks on it next week. Okay, so when we'll just do that. We'll put the final tweaks on it next week.
If,
I'll try to work on, I'm not the best at formatting, but I can try to work on doing that.
well, I have someone who can do it.
Okay.
So if we have. what
An
we
idea
need,
of what
I
we-
can shoot over and it will be beautiful.
I need my children to work on those skills.
I already talked to her. That should be happy.
Okay, so then R&R info items, which we talked about. We talked about that. Okay. Just to reiterate, follow up. There's nothing else on today's agenda, so. Okay. So before I look for a motion to adjourn. What do we need for next week?
So just to summarize, for both the survey questions and the R&R info items, the survey questions, you guys have all reached a consensus that. These are them, you're all good with. Everyone's okay with them, right? Won't be any changes for those. Between now and next week, and then for the R&R info items, are you and I then working throughout the week, K.S.A. to,
Yeah, I think we have a good idea of what we can add on here.
okay. And then present that next week,
Yeah,
okay,
next week, I have on the calendar, lake presentation. So are they coming?
okay, we need to add them.
I don't know, I just got it down on the 22nd, lake presentation, so.
Then they must be.
oh, they,
Mm-mm. But we have, so 10:15 community corrections is coming with a proclamation, so we'll do that. And then finance director has purchase order consideration for BG consultants on road and bridge facility. And fund balance discussion, which is what he had sent us. He wants to summarize all the funds, which will be helpful. I think Ian Saxton came at 11 last time. So we can
he was
add,
here at the beginning, sat through the whole.
well, he came to our workshop because he was
Oh.
interested in,
Oh, okay, I think I think Catherine requested that time.
well,
Be at the beginning, but the others can, if we need to move them to adjust.
so she did that because she asked me what time, and since the proclamations are at the very beginning, I just said
Yeah,
So if we put Ian Saxton then at 11.
Okay.
County Lake Committee update. He did 30 minutes last time, right? I think just like a
but
I
if,
mean-
if 11 doesn't work for him, we can.
move him around.
I guess, or should we email him to see if that's still on?
Yeah, I'll just shoot him a text real quick and ask him.
I mean, if I'm the only one that's got it, I hate to like schedule him and then get everything off.
And then I wanted to find out, so for KDHE, for that program, I'm going to email Toby Kuhn to talk about steps, starting with qualifying the owner prior to the county signing off.
Yeah, and do we have to sign off on the program prior and then take that next step? How does that work? I don't.
Well, or they might be willing. The person be willing to have KDHE come in and do that if it's gonna be paid for, but what if we put them on the schedule? And they say, yeah, you qualify to clean up, but you've got too many assets. We're still gonna come do it. Now you're gonna pay.
That's exactly my point was,
For the example of one of them where this is sentimental to me, this is my great grandpa's sentimental value, even though you classify it as junk.
sure,
I don't want you taking my stuff.
right, and I just feel like we're getting into uncharted territory because we haven't done this in the past, and
Yep.
I want to know that there's some kind of interaction before we put the hammer down, you know,
Yeah.
I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so he said that'll be fine. He was planning on coming anyway, so 11 a.m., 30 minutes. Okay, so that's updated. Is there anything else we need to add to next week? So I'll do update for Katie. I'll do that update for Mr. Coon. After Mark. Commission.
R&R info, items finalized.
Update. From a legal program.
We Catherine should probably be at 10, so 10:15. So it's.
Susan, have you had any follow-up with the 409 George Street in Effingham? You had sent an email.
I sent another follow-up yesterday. I have not heard back from her.
Okay.
I do not have a phone number. Did tell her if she wanted to give me her phone number, I'd be happy to call her.
I guess I could stop sometime maybe and see if she's got contact information or something. That I could
Sure. Sure.
Do you have
I'm
hard?
happy to talk with her.
Do you have hard copies printed off on our RHID taxing district? That you were going to, the printouts you signed off on for Holly?
I'm not sure what you're talking.
So Holly brought us in the loop of the CIC clerk supplements that,
Oh. I haven't signed off on any of those.
okay.
Um,
Do we want to go ahead and do that today while we're all here?
I thought those were something I used with CIC in November, is when I reviewed them with. Sure,
Okay,
this from Belinda, right?
yep. And Holly just sent it to commissioners, keeping us in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
that it was brought to her attention that there was a new rural housing district that the former
So
clerk received documentation on, but did not notify the office.
in defense, let me tell you what we figured out happened there.
Okay,
And I've talked to the city about it as well.
okay,
So the resolution for the RHID was never filed with the Register of Deeds.
Okay.
So from the city, the
Okay.
city should have filed that, and so it didn't go through the normal process, because that would have then triggered the next step and the next step and the next step. So
Okay.
instead, there was a letter that came to the clerk. In that letter, it states the other departments, and then there's a check mark next to the clerk. So if I had received that, I would have understood that this letter was also sent to these other people, and this was my copy.
okay,
And so, so she did like everything right in the clerk's office. It just, the city didn't file it with the Register of Deeds, so then it didn't get to the appraisers.
okay. So her,
So it was set up in the system and not in the appraisers, but it was set up in CIC and in for all of our reporting. So if that's making any sense. So, but it's all corrected now. The appraiser have gone in and, since we had already been released by PVD, the appraisers were able to go in, make the corrections, get it all set up correctly. City has the correct information. We're good.
okay,
So,
it's, the commissioners have to sign off on it. So if you have those copies, we can do that. Or we can add it to next week.
where do they need to sign off? I am not like,
Okay, anything else? Okay, so,
I just don't see anything that needs a signature.
okay.
But I can print them if you want to sign off on them.
Did the parade.
There's like, 10 of them. Do you want me to print them off? There's no like just assignment. It's just a real estate parcel listing.
Okay, I forwarded you the email, just to make sure I just don't wanna hold you guys up for a week if we can do. if we-
Yeah, 100%.
And then, okay, so next week, the finance director wants to have a budget workshop with us. So we need to add that, so do we wanna just adjourn at noon with Mark for budget workshop?
Sure.
Okay, is there anything else we're missing from your email that we need to add? You haven't gotten any information from Project Atchison about a candidate meet and greet this year, have you? Okay. Right, well, I think we recommends. Okay. You know what might be easier is if we just, when we adjourn from this into workshop, if we could just call Mr. Coon together and just have a conversation with him. It might be easier
That's what we need to do.
to convey. All right, I'm looking to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Are these all for Vision for, or these, they're all?
Yeah.
This one has a. I just want to make sure I'm looking so I know how to call for the motion, because this one has another name from Nashville.
Well, some of them have been split and sold,
Okay, so that's why.
so yeah.
Okay, but all of these are for the Vision for,
They're all for that RHID, which is taxing unit 136,
okay. So then one,
right here, let's say 136.
yeah, okay, so one motion should cover. And just accepting. Okay. All right, so I would look for a motion to approve the tax abatements on taxing unit number 136 as presented by our appraiser and county. And there are, yes, I could. I'm gonna pass these over for you guys to look at. Just was trying to get,
So
this is the email that we got.
why are there abatements?
So it's new to all of us, but Pat would probably explain it better, but it's an RHID. So it's, which is a rural housing initiative development, something like that. And so it's a TIF, which is also incremental financing, tax incremental financing or something like that. So basically, as I'm understanding it, the area is defined. There's a district that has been defined, and have you guys not seen that information?
No, I'm aware of it.
Okay. And it's set with a base value for that whole area. And then as improvements are made, there are basically rebates. They're still taxed at the base value, even though improvements are made. If I'm understanding correctly, don't quote me on that. But it's basically a way to help initiate like improvements and incentivize people to come in and spend money and build new and, you know.
Okay, that makes.
So there was one home that was existing in the district that was improved. So they went in and did improvements to that home. And then the rest of it is getting like parceled out to separate lots. And then some of those lots are being sold to people to come in and build on them. So there's one that has already been built on and it's sold. And I think they built, I think it's a duplex with an upper and a lower, and then an ADU that is above a garage.
How long is the abatement?
20 years.
There's 13 in that one, that 136 taxing unit, and then there's 2 in the taxing unit 1, both exempt. First Baptist Church.
So there were a couple of properties that were, are those separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of properties that they had to split off late. There was one that was a giant parcel, but only, and it was like seven different lots in there. 4 of those are in the district and 3 of them are not, or maybe it's 5 and 2 or something like that. So that may be what those 2 are.
So is this abatement from city taxes?
I think so. I think this is an agreement that they have.
Because I don't recollect that we approve, it's like when we have our, I can't think of the acronym now, but the for the county, and that's countywide, but I mean,
Year.
yeah, but so I don't remember of signing off on a new district like this that it would take away from county taxes. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but it was like a resolution to support rural housing. I'm just sorry, trying to find it.
It's not. Remembering that.
I don't have the commission drive on this.
So those are 13 for taxing 136, and then this is 9th and Kearney, which is owned by the city of Atchison, so it's exempt, and then 101 Harper, which is owned by First Baptist Church, that's exempt. Yes.
It would have been back in, as near as I can tell. Maybe. Here's this, I don't know if that. So. Slide over.
Yeah. $123.
And that was filed by the city. And then here's the minutes. Reimbursement. So. It says, right, the funds means the amounts paid from the Atchison County Treasurer to the Treasurer. That rings a bell. I just don't know. You want to know, I have. Thing in the old files.
Yeah,
Within the sign.
we can at least make. You guys ready for me to call for a motion?
So help me out, understand what exactly we're moving. Abatements. County abatements. Abatements on the county side, or what are we?
To change the taxing unit for each parcel that was affected. I have attached the supplements I have done for 2025. All but two of them were changing the taxing unit from 001 to 136 for parcels in the new rural housing incentive district taxing district. The other two were prorations due to exemptions. And this is just, we're receiving hard copies of the abatements to sign off on.
But what started, it? I mean, that's what, I don't remember of acted, do we pass a resolution to do this?
We would have, and I remember it, and I can't remember if it was Justin on behalf of Vision 4, or I think the folks of Vision 4 were. Here. I mean, for some reason, it's ringing a bell.
I'm not remembering what started this.
The only reason I questioned that there was a resolution is because we didn't have anything filed here. Like in-house, other than in the clerk's office, and there's no resolution like in the RHID file
Okay,
of information. I'm not saying it doesn't.
maybe we just
exist,
had a conversation about it then.
But.
But- There would have to be more than that to implement this, wouldn't there? I mean.
Well, not if this is just for the cities. I mean,
So in that case, then do we need a different setup in our system for evaluation, because they're set at the base? I don't know, because I'm new and appraiser, this is new to everybody in-house here. Is it supposed to be set up so that the base value is set at that just for the city taxes and not for county taxes? Cause it's like $17,000 that it's set at base value. For all of those properties on that map,
Well, I don't
not each, total.
want to approve this until we find out what we're really approving.
Yeah, is it just is it the city portion or is it the county?
But they would need a two-tier system then
Yeah, that's what I'm,
Yeah.
for everything else.
and I don't even know if that's possible, I don't.
so the back side shows all 409. City of Atchison.
Well, that's,
But I don't know if that means anything. Okay, so we'll add this next week then to our agenda for more information.
yeah,
Okay, so we'll have her come at 11:30 and we'll do appraiser. And appraiser, and that would be RHID abatement parcel information. Sound good? We can just keep these for next week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, so I think that just fulfilled our agenda next week. Or we can. Do you think we need more than 15 minutes for that?
probably not.
All right, well, then we can have another 15-minute slot in here if we want to. All right. You guys have anything else you need to bring up?
I don't.
No.
We are meeting on 7/29, correct?
As far as I know.
Okay, there's just not a,
Oh, I just haven't.
no,
copied
you're
it over
fine,
yet.
you're fine.
Yeah.
I just
try
wanted to make
keep it-
sure.
Try to keep it not too
Yep, I
busy
just wanted to
on
ask.
there, and yeah, so once I delete last week's, then I'll add, so just try to keep it, but you can always add one if you want one,
Okay, awesome.
it's not gonna.
So, do we want to have any discussion of budget and workshop today, or just, okay, so I'd look for a motion to adjourn into commission workshop.
Second.
Moved. So moved.
Oh, so move.
Second.
Second. Moved and
But you
second, sorry. Moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. And then it's illegal dump. We need to call him.